channel. Trucker Ride here in S.E.E. And before we get started today on today's topics, I'd like you, if you could, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps us grow and helps push these videos out in the algorithm, pick up recommended more views, and hopefully more new subscribers. We picked up a couple more over this last month, but appreciate that. So, Frankenstein, which I call this truck, and the reason why I do that is I have been throwing we have been throwing a ton of parts at this truck. We have had it up until this last time. It was 9 months, and in that 9 months, it's been down 2 months. The first time was 5 weeks back in February. I had a rental truck while this was getting a control module, wire harness, and ABS sensors. So the control module for the ABS and traction control took a crap. They had to get a new one that was blank, then send it, get it programmed, installed, what have you. Then it went down, and that's IT. So out of the 4 times it's been down, 2 months it's been down, 2 out of the 4 has been IT, the other 2 have been mechanical. So April, it went in for sensors in the DEF tank while I was on vacation. So that was down for a week. Then it went in for a 3-axle alignment, new tires, what have you. They had to reshim the rear drive. Basically, it was beating up and chewing up the tires very, very quickly because it had new rubber on it when I took delivery of it last December 1st. Lastly, as you all know, the truck went down on me here in August, 1st of August. I want to say it was like August 5th, and it went down, clutch went out of it, and it's an automatic, but clutch pack went out. So record to the shop, Freightliner got a hold of it, and they were waiting on parts. It was down for 3 weeks. So 5, 3, 8 weeks, 2 months. So 3 weeks to get a clutch pack. So it was more of a parts. If they had parts right away, I would have had it in a week. So in the meantime, while this was down, the rental they sent me, they had just a slew of problems with it that we sent in, had to send in the rental to get it fixed, yet the AC never got corrected. Therefore, that whole August heat index, excuse me, that I pretty much just sucked it up through. So in the cab, it would get 115, 120 at the peak. It was definitely a hot box in the cab with basically keeping the windows down. And as long as I was going, I was good. At a stop, I was wringing wet. Therefore, did a lot of hotels in that truck as it was just too muggy inside the truck to basically try to sleep. So, this has been back for over a week, running good, shifting a tad bit better now, and tighter shifting into the hills, in and out of gear. So obviously that was having an issue that basically reared its head at 335,000 miles for a new clutch pack. So since then, yeah, I've been, with the heat and all that, it really whizzed me out to where just getting in the hotel at night, settled in, eat, I was just too exhausted to really pop a video and really have the energy. So you were looking at 8, 9 o'clock, and I could have just done a video and edited it and put it out later, but basically it just didn't feel like it. I just wanted to be true to you folks, that you get what you see. I started early this morning. I put in 11 and a half hour day today. So we're in Elkins, West Virginia, and having a good time. It was a beautiful day. Made some good time. With that, when you have a lot more good days and bad days, you start getting complacent in the driver's seat. You get complacent in your driving, then year over year, the more experience you get, the more you're acclimated to your work environment behind the wheel of these trucks. A lot of folks haven't been so fortunate, so there's going to be a couple topics I want to touch on here. So, first and foremost, there was a ruling that came out of Massachusetts that was talked on another channel. My wife and I had her look into it, and we had over an hour-long discussion on it, and there was a different side of the story. And I put the links to all these discussions down in the description already, so she already sent them to me. I wish I knew if when she pops in here to put in that term that guy said. She never did text it to me. But people basically just scream and yell off a headline and never look into the facts. So that Massachusetts ruling was, they were going back, the law, they kind of just enacted on a policy or law before they thought it through. Therefore, they were going back on 30 years of accidents and rulings and revoking license, which added up to 500 licenses, CDLs, that's truck and bus drivers. And it just happened to be that with 500 of them in just the state of Massachusetts, that reside in Massachusetts, that hold their license in that state, you know, like mine's out of Michigan. So with that, there was a lot of school bus drivers not going to work to start the school year. So they had to backpedal that, and they wanted to rehash that. But you got to get people in the industry that know what we're doing out here. Don't be a damn politician and come at something blinded, or a college student that, well, I read on that. No, get it from the people in the trenches. Get it from people like us that can tell you what we need out here and what needs to be done. Get seasoned drivers out here and ask them, survey them, find out what needs to change, you know, especially someone like me that has seen trucking policies from the 80s to 90s, 2000, the 20 teens, and now the 2020s. So, that all stemmed from a Ukrainian driver, and it's in that article. Basically killed 7 motorcyclists from a motorcycle group called the Jarhead motorcycle group. But there's more. That was just that side of the story was given on the other channel and what have you. As far as what people have resonated out there, read the story, and I'm not going to go any farther on it, but there's more to that story and how things played out, and that really says a lot. I'm more of an independent when it comes to either a voter or decision making, and I know there's a channel out there, you know, don't be a fence sitter. I'm not a fence sitter. I just want to sit right in the middle, and I want to hear both sides. I don't want to hear this politicians, and I don't want to hear this I want to hear, you know, I just don't want to take one side and hear only one side. I want to hear both sides, deduct it, and come up with my own conclusion and reasoning. So that said, it actually went in favor of the driver. So, but in lieu, my take was the final say on that ruling, when you read the article, is that driver should have got prison time. Regardless, he did have manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter. So regardless, he should have still went to prison. How long, I don't know. But he should be serving prison time. That's all I got to say on that. Moving on. The other thing that really has pissed me off is the ruling on Wabash trailers. St. Louis, Missouri. Wabash has gotten themselves into, what did my wife say? It's in the article, 163 or 463,000 or 463 million, or 163 million, or yeah, 460 some $1 million settlement to this family. What had happened? Truck was parked. It was not the trucking company's fault. They weren't going after the trucking company. They were going after the manufacturer of the trailer because of the ICC bumper. The trailer was a 2004 Wabash. It met all its criteria for 2004 safety standards by the DOT. Yet, this family goes out and sues Wabash for a bumper that should not have, or should have, some kind of collapsing mechanism on there so the car wouldn't have gone so far under the trailer. And you think, wow, okay, great. What they kept from the jurors when they made that final ruling, they refrained from telling or bringing it into light. Any discussion during that court hearing against Wabash was that the two occupants, the driver, the passenger, driver was beyond legal limits of intoxication from drinking. Secondly, both driver and passenger were not wearing their seatbelts. And yet they were intoxicated, so drunk, no seatbelts, parked semi-truck and trailer, parked 55 miles an hour and ass-ended it and right underneath it. What do you think is going to happen? Do you just going to go blame a mountain or a wall because it's in your way because you've had too much to drink and so safety features weren't put in place? I'm sorry, but I hope Wabash appeals that. They, in the articles down below too, appeals it, and I'm sorry, that family, if you ever see this, F you. You shouldn't be getting none of that money. Your family members, they should have never been behind the wheel of that vehicle. So what does that set for an example for everyone else out here? You know, asshats like that in America do not belong on the streets, period. And I told my wife, when I get behind the wheel of this truck, sitting here, I'm sitting in a parking lot off to the side where designated. Someone could jump the curb drunk, come off the main road, jump through the ditch, over the curb, hit my trailer. I'm at fault. It's driver's fault. Why was the driver there? So everything's our fault. And it's a crying shame that this country is ruined by politicians and lawyers. And all I have to say is, you dirty bastard lawyers that are out there railing all these companies. So when you turn around and your gas for your Jaguar and Bentley is more, your cars are more, your food is more, your building materials to build your mansions more, you know what? It all stems down to you pressing the issue to soak every dime out of the system in this country to where you're going to bankrupt this country as each corporation gets put out of business. So congratulations. And that family did not deserve one damn cent other than they should have been paying for that damn funeral and put those two shitheads in the damn ground. So that's it from that rant right there. And that just gets me. So I'm glad the driver of the truck was able to walk away injured free, and but the company, that was in 2019, took them over 3 years to come to the final conclusion on that. And it was the same with the Massachusetts the truck hitting the motorcyclist. Took over 3 years for that. So now all that happens, and now other rulings happen. And this country, you need to stand back and look at things in a bigger light. So let's just say you're a family sitting at a stoplight, sitting in a parking lot, and someone hits you, sues you, and takes everything you have because you were in their way. You your vehicle did measure up to safety standards of, for today, but your car was built 20, 30 years ago. Ridiculous. Ridiculous how these guys pull bullshit out of their ass on this. So, with that said, take these off. I've been staying pretty busy here driving, and I've been very blessed and very happy. My wife and I have been sitting down and really seeing the light. This month, September, has been 10 years that I've come back into the logistics trucking industry. With that, maybe help turn some of them lights off. So, 10 years back in the logistics truck driving, and after bailing on, and I don't want to say bail, but leaving healthcare, and the wife and I have had, I guess this last month, while I wasn't putting out much of a video, but this last month I said, I was always stressed out dealing with different people, whether it was healthcare workers or patients. But I said overall, I was just damn right miserable. Working in healthcare, all the henpecking, all the nagging, and just the little things that, to me, there's a bigger picture out there to worry about. It's like, I'm gonna throw this at you. I'm watching the debate, or not. I didn't watch the debate. I listened to another channel who was critiquing the debate. Therefore, we have pressing issues. We got wars going around everywhere. We got 40 plus million immigrants running across the border every single, for the last 3.5 years that, Sleepy's been in office. We have all kinds of crime and everything ramping up. The mainstream media is hiding it under the rug because they don't want you to know what's really going on. If you want to stay ignorant, turn on the TV news. But we have more pressing issues than abortion right now. We have threats of nuclear war. We have the possibility of your sons and daughters going to war over a billionaire's war, because they want to have control and power. And since Russia and Putin wouldn't sell out Russia to be a unipolar government, that's what they're pushing for, is all this global elitist, the World Economic Forum, they want to be a unipolar government. One government for all in the world. And he wouldn't sell it out, so therefore, no, he's not going to do it. And China's pushing us. China's bought our politicians to think this way, and it's sad, but they hear a lot of that crap, old cackling there, and what have you. I'm not a fan of either one right now, but what or who is really going to be the best for us, the people, the country? I think us. We're going to have to stand up. You want that, people are kicking back. They've gotten so complacent and like, well, we have the Constitution to protect us. You're going to have to throw it in their face and fight for that Constitution, because they're taking it away from you. And either you're going to roll over sick, dead, and you're sick and fat, and think you're going to fight for it. You need to fight for it. I gotten proactive, especially this last year, to do all kinds of provisions and protect myself. And we need to be doing that. And it's just sad and sorry that nothing like that has been going on for many people. They just sit back, be complacent. Our Constitution is going to take care of us. No, you're going to have to fight for it. It's going to get ugly. regardless of who gets in, and I don't give two craps who gets in at this point, because the economy is going to tank next year. Doesn't matter if she gets in or he gets in. It's being propped up, and man, they're trudging on fumes right now to keep this economy propped up. But when it comes down, it is going to slam so hard, we're going to think one day you're going to wake up and it's like a nuclear bomb went off. When Wall Street tanks and all this shit and all your wealth tanks, the next thing after that you're going to see in the years to come, you're going to start seeing famine. And you better get ready to start knowing how to be self-sustaining and self-providing, because grocery stores like Walmart and other places that you may shop at, they're going to be a war zone to even step foot in there, let alone try to come out. Trying to come out of a grocery store with paid groceries going forward in years to come is going to be like walking out of the bank with flashing gold in your hand. So that's my take. Hey, if I'm wrong, hey, bring this up, throw it in my face, and I'll tell you, yeah, I was wrong. But it's coming. So there's a lot of things to be said, but things are going to get uglier and uglier each passing week and each passing month. So people are taking too much for granted out there. They think the Constitution's going to protect them, and you know, this party or that party, when they get in, they're going to fix everything. I'm going to tell you right now, no political party, no president is going to fix what has already been done. It's beyond repaired. It's foobarred. It's done. So now you got to think, you can sit and get upset about it, lose sleep over it, or you can do something. You can do something about it. That's what I did for over 2 years, but this last year I really stepped up with brass and lead and other provisions to add to things I'm doing. And you need to be doing that. And if you think, you know, I'm not a gun advocate and all that, well, when they come bum rushing your door, or tackling you out in the parking lot for your groceries, good luck with your butter knife or whatever you're gonna do. So stay safe, folks. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm going to try to start chiming in more. But back in the old girl for now until we see what else may rear its ugly head. But I'm hoping I can ride this thing out for a good year or two without any issues. But in the meantime, we're staying good and safe here. And everything's looking good at home. So therefore, stay safe. Continue educating yourself. Knowledge is learned and not taught. Read the whole article. Don't be a headline reader. Be very smart. Be the smartest person in the room when you walk in. Trucker Rod, S.E.E., and we will see you in the next video.